To Trek a Crooked Street by Dr. Sharad Varde from forthcoming book Peeping at America. A flock of laughing tourists and three of us, individually concentrated hard on standing stably erect at a 25-degree angle to the brick surface below us. The surface itself was paved at a 25 degrees reverse angle to the Mother Earth. Why the road underneath our feet was built on a sharp slope is beyond my comprehension. The rest of the world cuts the hilly slopes into parallel and wide steps from the hilltop to the bottom and builds winding roads with a decent descent. Or they maintain the hilly slopes as hilly slopes and create gardens atop. But this is San Francisco. They must do things differently. So they created Lombard Street. It is America's crookedest street, probably the world's most crooked street. Its sharp curves from Hyde to Leavenworth deal with the extreme 40-degree slope to the stout and stubborn geography called Russian Hill. Did they stop there? No. Having created such an eccentric civic amenity, a European society would have comfortably earmarked it as a tourist spot, collected €1 per person, children weighing under 100 pounds free, €5 per car as visiting fee, and reserved the income to plug the hole in the overhead ozone layer. They would have even gone so far as to declare it as the site where the nursery rhyme famed Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water when Jack fell down and Jill came tumbling after. But the thrill of constructing a uniquely treacherous slopy hill and road, threatening to teach you the law of gravity realistically, was not sufficient to satisfy the San Francisco town planners. They realized that the virgin slope had enormous commercial value for wealthy and therefore eccentric West Coast Americans. Hurriedly, they converted it into a classy and expensive real estate. The Victorian mansions, condos, and townhouses on this slope stand testimony to their accurate judgment and unique idiosyncrasy. I can't imagine the mindset of the people living there. Every day they wake up to see the crooked world below them actually crooked, take their crookedly parked car out of the crookedly built garage to the crooked road downhill, and repeat this crooked act when they return home. Even if you give me $1 million, I won't stay here overnight. On second thoughts, I'll give it a try. Who else is going to give me $1 million? I'm truly amused by the sightseeing etiquettes of the tourists worldwide. No difference here. All the tourists, most of them from China and Japan, had a camera around their neck, digital, video, camcorder, or whatever new type of time shift gadget invented by the Japanese that year to convert three-dimensional realities into two-dimensional illusions. To be fair to the Pan-Pacific communities, they could have been as well from Korea, that is South Korea. North Koreans are not tourists in America, or for that matter anywhere else, unfortunately. Or they could be citizens of Taiwan, Hong Kong, Thailand, the Philippines, or even Singapore. I can't easily make the difference. These well-to-do, happy Far Eastern tourists might at times forget to wear their underwear, but will never fail to carry their digital camera when they step outdoors. Around Lombard Street, these tourists were busy clicking pictures endlessly instead of enjoying the entire panorama in three dimensions with their own eyes right then and there. I do not know what makes them opt for using the lens of a camera instead of the lens of their own eye. Why do they prefer to see the pictures back home leisurely and devour the amazing landscape in the confines of their homes? I would not know unless and until I adopt a 60 plus Far Eastern couple. You must see the world below you from atop Lombard Street with your own eyes to believe any description of it. Once you collect yourself angularly well and get over the natural fear of tumbling down to the mean sea level of San Francisco, you will start enjoying the divinity of the Lombard Street. See the beautiful flowers and shrubs that border the eight switchbacks. Devour the smashing views of the city and the bay from any point along the block. The cherry on the cake is the night view of the entire Bay Area. It is worth the trouble and heartbeats. On my side, throughout my angular, effortful, erect stay there, I continue to remain fearful of witnessing someone roll down gravitationally when they posed with their back to the bay down and slowly retracted a few steps back to let the camera capture all of them end to end in the frame. I wanted to know how many people, drunk or sober, have actually stumbled on these treacherous slopes of Lombard Street, Vermont Street, and from the slopes around Clarendon Avenue, Portola Drive, and Twin Peaks Boulevard, and killed themselves rolling down. No statistics was readily available. The cop at the top believed that it was none of her business. To get an idea how steep Lombard Street actually is, we went 2 blocks up to Filbert Street and peered down over the ridge. Lombard looked even steeper. Then we went to the Leavenworth Street at the bottom. I looked up fearlessly. I liked the spot, without any fear of rolling down a few hundred feet, without making solid efforts to create a stable, angularly erect posture, and without worrying about a happy tourist demonstrating the accelerating high velocity of gravitational attraction. I could merely see cars snaking down slowly. I remembered all those breathtakingly stunning shots of car chases up and down these roads in umpteen Hollywood movies. I asked a cabbie if he could recreate the chase for me. He refused to oblige. San Francisco Tourist Department must take a note of this shortcoming and make tourist friendly arrangements for such events that would last for ever in people's memory if they survive the event. Take $10 per couple for recreating the experience of Barbara Streisand and Rand O'Neal in the 1972 Screwballs comedy, What's Up Doc? $15 per person for the Matrix Reloaded chase. San Francisco is full of several such models of eccentric civil engineering. I am sure San Francisco State University offers a master's in steep and crooked road construction. The student evaluation process would certainly be based upon the interview of sane and sober drivers not willing to use the road test constructed by the MS S&CRC students for their project work. Automobile component suppliers, especially the brake manufacturing companies, would not fund this sort of education. Lombard Street has a few companions in the city. There is a Vermont Street in the Potrero Hill section of the city with 6 very sharp, crazy curves. Twin Peaks offers another opportunity of winding roadways. In fact, they offer yet another wonderful opportunity for a unique insurance business. I looked around these dreadly streets and their neighborhood for on the spot insurance selling kiosks. There were none. I want to kickstart, an insurance company to be named Frisco Stumble and Tumble Insurance Company INC. Imagine what would be the first reaction of the tourists coming from all over the world when they fail to open the left door of their car. Or still more seriously, when the right side door jerks open frantically the moment they touch the inside door knob of their viciously slanting car and bangs an adjacent tourist. My God, And when they manage to get out of the car but find it unmanageable to stand straight, worse, when ocean wind blows at its happy speed. Now, precisely at this juncture, my agent will approach them with a proposal to ensure their safety against the force of gravity. One day instant insurance policy will be issued right then and there. Only passport details will be sufficient. No questions asked. All credit cards accepted. Instant payment will be made to the next of kin at any location in the world. How come no American has already thought about it? Or has someone? Thank you.